Let's start off with New South Wales. Freddie, looking ahead to Game 2 in Perth, do you expect to make changes in your squad?
Well, just watched on the weekend, Payne Haas looks like he's got an injury, so you've still got another weekend of footy. So, you know, whether you've got a mindset of making changes or not, you just got to sit back and wait. Although Jack White, looking at the clips, he had a whale of a game at left centre. There was a bit of debate over, you know, whether he should have played, but that's, I think, his sixth game now at left centre, and he was fantastic. When I watched the game again back, I've done that a couple of times, I feel like 16-10 for us was a really good result. The fact that, I mean, we got tackled a metre out for their line at 16-10, and, you know, in the 80th minute, although it says a lot about how courageous they were. I thought Queensland were the much better team. They had a great game plan. They stuck to it. They tested the ref, and they did a great job. They worked really hard for each other. And I thought, at the end of the day, and having a few new players come through and watching them step up to the next level, I think that's the real. That's what tells you your team went well when they weren't overwhelmed. And I thought Carrigan was great. I thought Ruben Cotter was great. Selwyn Cobbo did a good job. So I feel like they're prepared and they were the better team on the night.
What about Kotoni Staggs? We did see him go off with a shoulder injury during the game. Is he in doubt for Game 2?
I spoke to him. I think he's a bit unsure. It was more of a cork in his shoulder, so I don't think it was like anything structural. So from that point of view, it'll more be a pain thing. Obviously working on him playing for Brisbane, that'll be the first thing. He'll have a game next week.
And what about, we just heard Emma talking about Latrell Mitchell and his return potentially for South Sydney. If Kotoni's not fit, is Latrell someone that you would considering that he hasn't had a lot of games? In fact, I think it was April 9th was his last game. He's only had 4 games this year.
I think we first wait to see what he's doing with South Sydney. I think Jason Demetriou understands, you know, obviously, you know, he's a South Sydney player until start of Origin, the game's on. And I've spoken to Jason before. Their trainer, Travis Toomer, is also on our staff. So, you know, we have a pretty good look at how Latrell is and what he's capable of doing. So, you know, I think everyone would like to see Latrell play at this next level. He's a great player, he's a star, and he loves playing at that level. So, but like Jason said before, it'll be a medical issue.
Billy, I want to ask you the thing. I took a few things out of the game was the performance of Cameron Munster. Wally Lewis, like we described it after. Tell us, what's he like at training? What advice do you give him? What's he like in camp now?
Well, he's playing the game with a lot of enthusiasm at the moment, and he can do that because he's really clear in what sort of a player he is. He's got great fitness on his side at the moment. He's had a tremendous 8 months, and look, we've been well documented that, you know, he's got his life in order off the field. He's had a huge pre-season, and he just gives himself the opportunity to be in the game more. You know, there was a moment when Val Holmes dived on the ball that Cameron Munster was the first one to get there and put pressure on James Tedesco when he made the line break. So he's in the game a lot, and he just puts himself in a position to get the ball. And when he does that, he comes up with these plays. But he's in great touch at the moment. This is the one here. See Cameron Munster, he's a left-hand side player, and he's already over there looking to save that try. Now, he does that with the football, he does it without the football, and that puts him in a position to be in the game.
What advice do you give him, before the game or during the week?
Well, our game is not about just give the ball to Cameron Munster. He plays a role in our team, and yes, we want the football in his hands because good things happen, but you want him in the game. You want him in the game as much as possible, so continue doing that.
I thought another area where you excelled was, which I thought would be a weakness, was the smaller man in the middle, Carrigan and Cotter. Their speed around the ruck. You must have been happy with that. Yeah,
it's not always about size. Size is good and it gives you momentum, but speed and leg speed in particular can do just as much for you, with and without the football. So, look, Ruben Cotter, he's been a guy that I've been looking at for a long time, not just the last month. He's been doing an exceptional job up there at the Cowboys, and we saw the difference that Pat Carrigan made when he came on. His first involvement was a momentum shift with the football, and then he made a real statement without the football. So guys like that, they're playing their first State of Origin game, and they weren't overawed. They were very comfortable in that because they deserve to be there. They'd earned their opportunity.
Well, without Munster, I think Carrigan was man of the match off the bench.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah, for sure. He was tremendous. And guys like Ruben and Paddy, they had to play a lot longer than we anticipated because of the injuries we had to guys we weren't anticipating taking off. Xavier Coates goes down and then Jeremiah Nanai in the second half. So not only do we lose 2 strike weapons, but we lose 2 interchanges. So I had to say to Ruben at half-time, mate, you might have to go 80. And the look that he gave me was, I'm happy to do that. I'll go 90 or 100 if you want me to.
Another area I thought you excelled in was the 2 dummy halves. The best teams I ever played in was Badiris wing, playing together, starting and then off the bench. The 1-2 punch of Harry Grant and... just had a brain fade.
Ben Hunt.
Ben Hunt
to start with and Harry Grant.
Yeah.
Must have been happy with that.
Yeah, we were. Look, they're not just genuine number 9s. Look, Harry Grant plays number 9, but Ben Hunt can play a variety of positions for us. He was at 13 at one stage. He can play in the halves. You can even defend him in the centres if you need to. So it's really important that we've got that versatility in our team, and if we need to shift things around, we will. But they were great. When Harry came on, his leg speed in and around the ruck, you see him getting out, and he makes the right decision most times, whether it's passing, running. He's got a nice little kicking game, so yeah, that little duo worked well for us.
And we will be chatting to Harry Grant just coming up a little later in the show. But Xavier Coates looking like he is out for the next 2 months, they're predicting. Have you spoken to him? How is he? And have you made your decision as to who's likely to come in?
Yeah, I saw him at the airport in Melbourne, actually, and he looks like getting an operation tomorrow. So it's very unfortunate for Xavier, unfortunate for the Melbourne Storm that they're going to miss their winger for 2 months. So hopefully he can get back on the field shortly. But we had Murray Taralangi and the Hammer in camp, and the 5 guys that were in camp outside the 17, they weren't there for an experience or a holiday. They were there because they deserved to be there, and they were next in line. So I'd anticipate it'd be one of those 2 that come into the team. The other guy outside of that is Corey Oates, who's doing a tremendous job. He's played for Queensland before, and if the position came to give Corey Oates a maroon jersey, I'd be very comfortable with that. But I'd anticipate it'd be one of those 2.
Freddie, is there anything that you'd change in the lead up to if you could do it again, or would you keep it all the same?
No, keep it the same. We've been doing pretty much the same thing for 5 years now, so it's worked in the past.
I think people got to remember, everyone's screaming for change. A lot of things didn't go New South Wales' way, and came within that far of equaling the game. So, yeah, I think it's unwarranted.
Yeah, the great thing about off the back of game 1 is there's going to be improvement. Like, we know that New South Wales are going to get better. We know that, and they know that, and we need to get better. We can't be content with game 1. So, yeah, tune in to game 2 because it'll be a ripper.
And is that part of it, keeping the squad together, saying, listen, we've got 2 more games, don't hit the panic button at all?
I'm not sure where the panic button is.
I don't know either.
Yeah, so you seem to be trying to find a panic button.
I've got it.
There's no panic.
I don't have it.
Let me tell you, I've got a few in my house.
There's no word in your vocabulary as panic.
You keep looking for some sort of panic. No, we've been in this position before. State of Origin's always been about 3 games, and we got beaten in the first game, and they were the better team, without a doubt. And we've still got another couple of games to wait today, and there's some games next week that need to be played, and we'll go again. So there's no button. I can't find the button.
Yeah, so we are looking forward to game 2, of course, live and exclusive here on Channel 9.